allowed to and are invited and suggested to join the meeting with a PC, Mac, iPad, Android, with the URL posted on the website. So I'll ask for those who are present. Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis here.
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick here.
Paul Schubert here. The meeting is in order, and we have one item on, which is on the agenda, the 243 North Main Street septic upgrade, IA Technology Microfast treatment system. And I believe we have Morse Engineering to present. It looks like this is a similar situation as other septic systems we've reviewed, although they're looking mainly for percolation tests, but we'll turn it over to Pam. And it's a small two-family home on North Main Street on 243. And I think, Greg Morse, are you the engineer?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, great. Just identify yourself for the public.
Sure. Gregory Morse, registered engineer, Morse Engineering. I can do a share screen, or if Pam wants to put the plan up.
I'll share my screen, Greg.
Right, great. As was just stated, this is a septic system repair project. I'm representing the property owner, Michael and Rowena Karp. The property is at 243 North Main Street. North Main Street, for reference, is at the top of the plan here. The existing property, it's a little under an acre in size. There's an existing two-family home on it, kind of at the front of the lot. Behind the house is an existing septic system that failed a Title V inspection recently. The property's on the market for sale, and so they engaged Morse Engineering to design a new septic system. The purchaser of the property intends in the future on building a barn studio in the back and converting that front house, which is, again, it's a two-family house right now with one bedroom on each unit. So it's a two-bedroom house. They're going to turn that into just a single-family one-bedroom house, and then a single-family one-bedroom studio in that back building. So it's classified as a repair. This is 2 bedrooms on the site in total, existing today and when the project is done. The replacement septic system here, it is an IA technology. It's a micro-fast denitrification tank. Pam's got the cursor on it right there. Right next to that is a pump chamber and then a pressure-dosed leaching system. The leaching system is advanced as well. It's a Perk-Right drip disposal system. It's up, that's actually the darker box above that. That's where the disposal system is. Yep. We had done perk tests out on the site. You know, the site is constrained with respect to ledge outcrops throughout the site. But we sited it in a location where we were able to get down to suitable soils, witnessed by your Board of Health agent, Phil Spath. We're seeking one local upgrade approval with this. The system itself complies with all siting requirements. It complies with all setback requirements, but the local upgrade approval we're seeking is to do a sieve analysis instead of the perk test. When we were out there, the soils were simply too wet to do a perk test. A sieve analysis is allowed in a case like this where it's a repair scenario. I turn it over to you.
So this is similar to some of the other septic systems we've reviewed over the last probably 3 months, with the system apparently far set back enough so that there's no real other concerns except for the sieve analysis. I'll open up to the board. Any questions from the board? Okay.
I'm just a little curious. How do you ensure that the main property turns into a one bedroom, and how is that connected to this this plan down the road?
So there's a deed restriction put into place on the entire property.
Thank you.
So the deed restriction is for potential two-family dwellings?
The deed restriction limits the property to 2 bedrooms.
Oh, I see. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions? Then I'd ask for a motion for a local upgrade approval under 310 CMR 15.405I to allow a sieve analysis in lieu of a percolation test. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion for local upgrade approval under 310 CMR 15.405I to allow a sieve analysis in lieu of a percolation test.
And is there a second?
I second.
And ask for a roll call vote. All those, excuse me, all those in favor? Elizabeth Kirkpatrick,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Paul Schubert, aye. The motion passes unanimously. There are no votes. Thank you for,
You know what,
Conan,
hang on one
Greg-
second,
oh.
I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to put, I should just have to approve the plan, just make a motion to approve the plan for 246 Street, North Main.
so I'd ask for a motion to approve the plan for 243 North Main Street septic upgrade.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the plan for the discussed upgrade that we just discussed.
And is there a second?
I second. Elizabeth Kirkpatrick.
All in, so I'll go for a roll call vote. All in favor? Elizabeth Kirkpatrick,
Aye.
Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Paul Schubert, aye. And the motion for the upgrade plan is approved unanimously.
Great,
So that
thank
should
you
work.
very much.
You're welcome.
Have a good evening.
So
Sorry
next
about that,
up-
you guys, I was asleep on the switch when I did that. Proposed motions today.
We snuck it in. Next up is approval of minutes from January 3, 2024, Board of Health. We'll have some Board of Public Health. Any discussion? No? I'd ask for a motion to approve the minutes of January 3, 2024, Board of Public Health. Cohasset. Is there a motion?
Why don't you go?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from January 3rd, 2024 for the Board of Public Health.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, roll call vote. Elizabeth Kirkpatrick,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Paul Schubert, aye. The motion passes unanimously. Next up is meeting date for next month. I'll ask again, is Zoom still working for everybody?
Yes.
Okay, good. I have not heard any word from the state that they're gonna eliminate them entirely, so I'm happy to do this as well. It works, I think, very well, unless there's some dramatic reason we have to be in person. There's some sort of a like a diorama of a plot that we had to look at. I think this is I think this is fine. So for next month is Tuesday. Let me just bring up the calendar.
March 5th.
March 5th. Does that work for everyone?
Not me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
And how about March 6th?
Yeah, sorry, I have a conflict.
Okay.
Mhm.
Would March 4th work?
Works for me.
Not for me. I'm sorry. I'm traveling those 3 days with night dinners and whatnot. for
Okay.
work.
Would March 12th work?
Yes, works for
Yeah.
me.
Works for me.
All
Yep.
good?
Mhm.
So then it's a little more than a month unless something crazy shows up. We'll do March 12th at 6 PM Zoom meeting on 2024. So that'll be good. And next up is Public Health Director report.
So we had a meeting today with the woman that's our DPH representative about our Public Health Excellence Grant. And it was kind of like a quarterly check-in, and we're doing really well. We're hitting all our targets that we wanted to hit this year. One thing is they initially they were saying they didn't want to, the DPH didn't want to approve community health needs assessments, at least not at this stage. And then we had as one of our objectives, it was kind of a vainly hidden community health needs assessment. We were just calling it something different. But now they've come around and they're like, based on what we've submitted, they want to allow them, and they've come up with a bunch of rules for what other towns can do to do them as well. The only problem is our community health needs assessment is expensive. We had a cost estimate from Boston University, and it's between like $30,000 and $50,000. So that kicks in the fact that we should actually go through a procurement process and not just hand them that amount of money. So we have to come up with like a RFQ, and so that's going to take us a little while to do that whole thing. I'm unfamiliar with preparing them myself, and I'm not sure if I might have to reach out to like another outside firm to put it together for us, but we'll do it. It's just, unfortunately, it's going to delay things a little bit. But we've got a big chunk of money that we're dying to spend between now and June 30th. And I think we're going to do it. It's just been pushed off a little bit. So anyway, that's my story.
So is that pretty much statewide for the town?
It's so what it is the DPH actually came, they recognize that they're going to allow us to do this, which it looks like they are going to allow us to do it. All these other PHE grant groups are going to want to do them as well. So they came up with guidelines of what you had to follow in order to do it. And we meet all the criteria. But those rules are going to apply to everybody else statewide. And yeah, the whole RFQ thing is the last stumbling block for us to get moving with this whole thing.
And that kicks in at like 15,000 or so?
I think it greater than 10.
Greater
Yeah.
than 10. All right. Any questions from the board?
I mean, I
Right.
guess I'm just kind of curious how it works in Cohasset. Do you have, like, does your clerk's office facilitate that? Or is it typical to hire a team or a contractor that does that for you?
Yeah, so
Yes.
Michelle Leary used to be the procurement officer,
Okay.
and then she got promoted to be the assistant town manager, and they never really replaced her position.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to go and talk to her tomorrow and get guidance from her of what we can do. I know if there's somebody she can recommend, maybe some kind of local consultant that can help us out. If we just give them all the materials, if someone else can put it together for us, because I just don't know enough about it. I mean, you kind of really, it's like it's a skill,
Yeah,
professional
absolutely.
skill, and I've never done it before. It's too important to kind of not do it correctly.
No, absolutely. I was just curious that if Cohasset had someone that did that for us as a
Yeah.
town. Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately they did, but moved up
Yeah.
and out. Anything else?
No, that's it for me right now.
Okay. So next up is the public health nurse report.
Yes, here I am in the dark. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot to report tonight, just little good news from the state this afternoon that it looks like COVID and RSV have peaked. Their numbers are dropping, but the bad news is flu is ticking up a little bit. So overall, I think we're in pretty good spot, but still not out of the respiratory illness season yet. So other than that, I don't have much to report.
Okay, excellent. The numbers I always follow in the hospital with flu, RSV, COVID, the COVID numbers are for the first time since the summer are single digits this morning, so they're down. RSV, we had probably the last couple of weeks, we had a fair number, but this morning there's one. And there's flu, I think there's probably 4. So kind of what the state is seeing, that numbers are coming down finally. And if there's no real uptick, we may see kind of this starting to settle out. We're seeing more from the public health point of view at South Shore, as the other hospitals are, like the Steward
Yeah.
situation, which I'm not sure what's going to happen there, may change the hospital stressors in the area that are still open, not Steward members, may be more of a concern.
Mhm. She mentioned that as well, that number of visits to the emergency rooms are way up. So with all kinds of things.
And anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. So I think Marcia had sent this is going to topics not reasonably anticipated by the chair 40 hours in advance of the meeting. I'm not sure everyone got that. There's the public health, Mass Public Department of Public Health Arbovirus Health Education Survey came out. And I think that it's looking at basically tick-borne and mosquito-borne illnesses as the season approaches. So there's a survey which would be appreciated to be filled out by I think by the Board of Health, and that's available I think until Friday the 16th, so another 15 days or 10 days, 10 days, which would be helpful to fill that out. And any other questions?
Yeah, I'm just curious, we'll all fill it out and kind of then what? Do we have any role in, education or disseminating information?
So I can speak to that a little bit. Every weekly, the pools are tested for mosquitoes, and we get a weekly update on numbers of West Nile positive mosquitoes, positive Triple-E's. And then it's up to Pam and I, if we do get like a West Nile, to kind of put it on the Facebook page. If it's a Triple-E, we definitely have to kick it up a notch. So and then I responded to the survey and just said I'd like some education materials, like I don't know if you've ever seen the tick ID cards. It's like a little, like the size of a charge card, but it shows people different types of ticks, and people like them. So I had just suggested maybe they could do something similar to that for, like, to hand out at health and rec fairs or to walk around the farmers markets. So that was my 2 cents on that.
And one of the nice things with the Apple phones, or any phone you have, you can take a picture of these tiny little ticks, zoom in it, and then you can compare it to the identification card, or if you're on Wikipedia, you can actually look at the tiny thing, which may be too small to really identify features. With the phone option, you can actually look and see what the critter is.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried having like education in terms of having a speaker come in. There's a guy who works for Plymouth County. He's really a really good speaker, but nobody shows up for these things, unfortunately. The in-person stuff, this doesn't work, but I think the cards are a good thing, something somebody can walk away with and just have on them. That's a good idea.
I like the cards because I think it puts a face on the health department, when you're walking around handing things out. I think that's always a good thing. So.
Okay, any more comments from the board or anyone else? Okay.
Thanks for the information.
Welcome.
All right. Now this one, I guess I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second?
Ask for a roll call vote. All in favor? Elizabeth Kirkpatrick,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye. Motion passes unanimously. I'll see you all next week. next month.
Next month.
Great.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Take care.